Rasul al-Kareem. We are discussing the chapter on Hayd, and we introduced the chapter thus far. We discussed that the minimum days of Hayd is 3 days, and the maximum is days. So if a person bleeds a little bit, and it's lesser than 3 days, and it's a break of 15 days, you will not add it up. But if there is a little bleeding and within 15 days she bleeds again, that will be added up, and you will see if it fits the criterion of 3 days. Nah, you with me so far, right? And then there's no way if a woman bleeds more than 10 days, what is over and above 10 days, cannot be held under any circumstances. What is over 10 days will definitely be istihada, right? You with me so far? Then yesterday we touched on two interesting things which I thought was relevant. The things we touched on is if a person starts with spotting, and especially if she starts with brown spotting, then I told you that can cause a lot of problems because, strictly speaking, according to Madhab of Imam Abu Hanifa, which I mentioned there, وَمَا تَرَى الْمَرْأَةُ مِنَ الْحُمْرَةِ وَالصُّفْرَةِ وَالْقُدْرَةِ, that all there, that will be days, especially if you got 15 days before that, because you already got a tuhar, a tuhar sahih, she got a proper tuhar, so that's supposed to be bleeding, right? It's supposed to be high, but many a time it can happen such that now the strong flows come after that, and it happens such that when she's bleeding heavily, then she have to read salah. So the madhab of Imam Abu Yusuf makes accommodations that it is spotting don't. So I told you sometimes some ulama give fatwa on that, but I think we shouldn't just be in a hurry to do that. Yes, you can take it to the mufti on a case by case basis and see like what happens there, right? Then the next interesting masala we discussed yesterday was this also, that menopausal women, if they bleed after the age of 55 Islamic years, if it is strong red blood, and obviously it fits the profile of Hayd, which is more than 3 days, and there's a break of 15 days and all that type of thing, then it will be Hayd. But if she gets a different color, like green, yellow, whatever, and she never experienced that color in her lifetime, then that will not be Hayd. That will not. But if she had the same color in her lifetime, then she experienced the same color in her lifetime, then that will be Hayd, right? So I hope that is clear. If that is not clear to anybody, please let us know, inshallah. So today, inshallah, we're also going to discuss with a new interesting discussion. Read it, Bismillah. Right. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَالْحَيْضُ now يُسْقِطُ, right? أَنِ الْحَيْضِ الصَّلَاةَ وَيُحَرِّمُ عَلَيْهَا الصَّوْمَ. Interesting there, you must know the difference between the two words. One is with regards to salat, you got asqata yusqitu, it drops it off completely. And with regards to sawm, wa yuharrimu, it makes haram sawm upon her. So from that you can see already, you'll understand that from that words. Okay, let me translate first. And the hayd, it drops off from the ha'idah, from the one experiencing hayd salat, and it makes haram upon her fasting. So that words already will tell you that, look here, salat is dropped off. What does dropped off means? That you don't have to do it again, right? And the fasting is not dropped off. The fasting is only made haram. That means you have to do the fast afterwards, right? Carry on. Yeah. So what this sawma, she will make qadha of the fast that she missed. And I got wala taqdi salawati. She will not make qadha of the salat. Is I got salawati or salat in your kitab? Salat. She will not make qadha of the salat she missed. So in other words, after Ramadan, whatever fast she missed, she'll have to make it up. But throughout the year, or even the fast that she missed in Ramadan as a result of her haid, of her menses, she will not have to do make qada. Right there, we're going to look at that dalil and naqli, the textual evidence. Right, what's the textual evidence? Right. See, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. What's the proof? لقول عائشة رضي الله تعالى عنها. What's our proof to say that there's no qada of fast of salah, but there's qada of fast? What? The statement of Aisha, كانت إحدانا على أهل رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم, that any one of us in the time of Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم, إذا طهرت من حيضها, when she'd come pure from her hayd, تقضي الصيام, should make قضاء of the fast she missed in Ramadan, ولا تقضي الصلوات, and she not make قضاء of the salat. So this is a clear proof, textual evidence from Aisha Siddiqa, right? And as per Sahib Hidaayah's habit, you'll always bring also a dalil aqli, a logical proof. You can read what's a logical proof. Yeah, this is the reason he's saying, let's see, I explained this first before looking at it down, which is pretty simple. You see, fasting only come once a year, right? Fasting only come once a year. So, uh, to make up that fast is not a train smash. And we know in the Hanafi madhab, maximum of fast can be 10 days, right? So, if a woman missed her fast in the month of Ramadan, even if she makes one fast per month, she fills in one fast per month, inshallah, before the next Ramadan, she would have covered her 10 fasts. So there's no difficulty, there's no haraj in it, right? As opposed to if you say every month when a woman bleeds 10 days, she must make qada. So that would mean, say for instance, she bleeds 10 days, there's 30 days in a month. That means for 10 days of every month of her year, oh, well, you don't have to do it in, like all spread it out. You can do it once, but that means every month she will have qada on her, right? So this is, you can say, the logical proof, and we don't rely only on the logical proof. We rely also on the textual evidence, but the logical proof is just to add weight to the argument. So وَلِأَنَّ فِي قَضَاءِ الصَّلَاةِ, or I got maktab salawati, because in having to fulfill the salat, harajan as a ism, there is difficulty. Why? لِتَضَاعُفِهَا, because of his being plentiful, right? وَلَا حَرَجَ فِي قَضَاءِ الصَّوْمِ, and there's no difficulty in fulfilling the fast, because I told you to come once a year, and you can do it over 10 months till the next Ramadan come. So there's no big train smash, no difficulty in that, right? Okay, read the next one. Right. Interesting, Master. وَلَا تَدْخُلُ الْمَسْجِدَ. So she will not enter a masjid proper. When we say masjid here, we don't mean the literal meaning of a masjid. A masjid is just a place where you pray. Here we mean that place which has been specifically designated and made waqf for a masjid. Like, you say this, like even sometimes the whole physical building is not a masjid. Sometimes you have a building, the big masjid, so to say, what we call a masjid, but a certain area has not been part of the waqf masjid. I discussed this in detail the last time. Many a time, what our, like the masjid, the back part of the masjid is not part of the masjid, because you can read janazah namaz there. According to the Hanafi madhab, you cannot make janazah namaz in the masjid proper. So the big building they'll have on the side, or they have the back, which is not waqf masjid. So any area besides that which is waqf for salat, that she can enter. We speak about, or that he can enter per person, although maybe it's against etiquette, but technically speaking, it's only haram to enter that which has been made a waqf for salat, particular, that which is a shari'i waqf masjid. I hope you understand it. So that I said doesn't mean the whole masjid, because sometimes the whole masjid has not been made waqf for salah. Like normally, like the courtyard, you have big masjids like in Joburg and those places, or maybe bigger than that if you go like to Turkey, those places. I mean, we're not sure what the intention is, but Yeah. Oh, yeah. Why lucky this masla came to my mind also now. Alhamdulillah that we're discussing this, your barakat. So we say only the masjid proper, which has been designated for salah. So as far as our knowledge goes, we know that in Makkatul Mukarramah, you get Masjid al-Haram, and then you get the white marble on the outside. In Masjid al-Nabawi sallallahu alaihi wasallam also, you get the masjid, and you get the white marble outside. So that is not masjid. It's not part of the waqf masjid. The masjid is defined by the walls of the masjid. So technically speaking, if a woman is in a hayd, he's in a menses, or a man is in janabat, where he don't have difficulty, he can go shower immediately. Technically speaking, they can sit on that marble outside the masjid. In fact, we had an official question about this here on our website. So you can sit on that white marble so long as you don't enter the doors, because that is not the masjid, right? You with me? So وَلَا تَدْخُلُ الْمَسْجِدَ وَكَذَا الْجُنُوبُ, and a person's halat janabat, whether it's a male or female, that they had a husband-wife relationships, or Khuswa became wajib, we discussed this right in detail. Why? لقوله عليه السلام, because of the statement of Nabi Sallallahu, he said, إِنِّي لَا أُحِلُّ الْمَسْجِدَ, I do not consider halal the masjid لحائض, for a woman experiencing her menses, ولا junubin, and neither do I consider it permissible for a person in janabat, right? So we say وهو بإطلاق حجة على الشافعي. Imam Shafi says that a person can't go into the masjid per se, but if you're in a janabat, male, female, needs faras ghusl because of marital relationship, or even male and female is in a hayd, etc., they can't go into the masjid per se, but they can pass through the masjid. Like, maybe to go from one side of the masjid to the other side of the masjid. So we say, look here, the hadith is absolutely general. He said, look, the masjid is not halal at all. So whether you're passing through the masjid or whatever, still you can't go, or when you're going to sit in the masjid to pray, either way it's not permissible, right? So وهو بإصداق حجة على الشافعي, the proof against Imam Shafi في إباحة الدخول, it's a proof against him in permitting the entering على وجه العبور, entering for the reason of to pass, والمرور to go through it, right? So according to us, you can't. That is why also when you go in Jamaat, etc., and you sleep in the masjid, then the Amir will explain the adab and the etiquette. If somebody needs to just general, like normally, obviously they try always, you mustn't sleep in the masjid, sleep outside the masjid. But if you sleep in the masjid, especially if you're not in tikaf, the moment you need the faras ghusl, you should put on your socks and leave the masjid and make your ghusl and come back, because you cannot be in the masjid while you need the ghusl, right? The next one, وَلَا تَطُوفُ بِالْبَيْتِ. You cannot make tawaf of the Baytullah also in halat hayz, in halat janabat. Why? لأن الطواف في المسجد, because look at this, tawaf is in what? Tawaf is in the Masjid al-Haram. It's a masjid, so you're not allowed to enter the masjid, right? So yeah, there is some details, if a person went for Umrah and they miscalculated and then they experienced Hayd, what should they do, right? And also if you go for Hajj and you experience your Hayd, a woman experiences Hayd, what should you do? Maybe we can just touch on it quick. So if you go for Umrah and you miscalculated or whatever and you experience your Hayd, so you should remember the final act before you can come out, you have to make tawaf of the Bayt, and you have to go to Safa Marwa. So you'll have to wait till you are clean again. And if you can't wait till you clean, there's another option also. You take some medication to stop your haze, but many times this causes more problems than anything else. You start spotting, and remember, spotting in the time of haze is haze. Then the other option is then too, you must delay your ticket. But as a last resort, you will make your tawaf in haze, but you'll have to slaughter a sheep as a penalty for doing it in haze. Then Hajj also, but okay, Hajj, you don't have this difficulty because people don't book immediately to come back after Hajj. And obviously, you have 3-4 days to do the tawaf of Wida, the final tawaf. So same thing here, if a woman is went for Hajj and she experienced Hajj, etc. So normally on the 10th day you go for your main. You never do Kitab al-Hajj yet, ne? You done it in which kitabs? You didn't do it in Kuduri. You never do it in Mishkat. You never do it in Hidaayah. You'll still do it in Hidaayah. You'll do it in Mishkat, inshallah. You'll do it in Sayyid Sitta, etc. So if you have to do the tawaf, if you come home without doing the tawaf, you will still be in haram to such an extent. Every time you have a relationship with your husband or wife or husband, she'll have to give a penalty because so there. But as I said, normally Hajj, you don't nobody leaves immediately, and obviously you can't leave immediately because you got a 10 day, the 11 day, the 12 day, and you can optional to prep out on the 13th day. So most of people they are clean by that time already. So you can't do nothing. So you do all the actions of Hajj illa tawaf, except you'll do the tawaf, and then inshallah, the moment you clean, you do it, and even if it's out of the days of Hajj, you do it, but then there's no penalty for you because now you're excused, right? So that's why you won't do the tawaf. And also, same masla, also I told you that the white marble is not compatible with the masjid, so you can go there, right? So لأن الطواف في المسجد because the tawaf. So yes, okay, yeah. Also, I forgot to mention the important thing. If it happens as such that now the flight is coming and you are leaving, and you can't delay whatever, or maybe you can't afford the cost of delaying, or the Saudi government is not allowing you to extend your visa, then there, as a last resort, also, I said, you will make your tawaf wida in halat hayd. And I told you, yeah, the penalty will be you have to give a camel in charity, like buduna, and that is about the value now about 40 to 50,000 rand. So that is a last resort, right? That is a last resort. Mm. And also, you have to do that because if you go home without doing the tawaf, you're still in the haram, right? So, لأن الطواف في المسجد, right? So, okay, I hope just random things, it was of benefit. I covered with it also. ولا يأتيها زوجها لقوله تعالى ولا تقربون حتى يطهرن. And then her husband will not come close to her. And because of statement of Allah Ta'ala, and ولا تقربون, do not come close to them until they are pure, right? So obviously here, when we say la wala ya'ti zawja, it means do not come in a, that's here obviously means in a sexual way, right? Um, the Jewish custom in the time of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they used to actually consider the woman as physically impure. They would consider the woman to be physically impure. The man wouldn't sleep with the wife, wouldn't eat food she would cook, wouldn't even touch her. Some narrations say that they would lock up a woman every time she was out in the menses in a room, in a dark room, and they would just throw the food for her. So Islam came to abolish all of those type of things. Islam said that the impurity is not of a physical nature, that if you touch her, you will become najis or anything like that. So it's abstract. Like I told you, it is hukmi. There's no physical. So if she cooks food, etc., 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 then there is no problem with that. Although here in the Hanafi madhab also now there's some ikhtilaf. I don't remember exactly which Imam says what, but in the Hanafi madhab, I think I can't remember if you know it, you must help me out here. That one of the Imams say that out of bounds is from below the navel to below the knee. So that means you can touch your wife, you can hug her, you can rub your body against her, so long as the flesh from below the navel till the knee doesn't touch. So if she's wearing a pants or a three-quarter pants, you can hold her, you can still sleep with her, you can spoon, you can do anything, so long as that flesh doesn't touch, right? Are you with me? So even that portion here that is below the knee, you can touch it, but you mustn't touch it directly, right? In a friendly manner or in a sexual manner, doesn't matter, right? So that's the one opinion. And in the Hanafi madhab, I thought I'll find it in a shara, but I never find it. That the one opinion is actually the actual only organ is not permissible. That is only the actual place where the haze come out from. That you can't touch. But as far as I want to check up about more about this, I forgot to have you done it. But maybe you done it in Mishkat Sharif. You never did it, you done it. Can you remember that? The fatwa is not on that one. The fatwa is not on it. The fatwa is on this here that what is below the navel till the knee is out of bounds, right? The fatwa is on that. What is below? That means when I say out of bounds, I don't mean you can't touch it. You can't touch it with a cloth, right? Are you with me? So okay, I hope that comes. So ولا يأتي زوجها لقوله تعالى ولا تقربوهن حتى يطهرن. So the rest of the body for the husband and wife to enjoy the rest of the body, that is no problem. It's fine so long as I told you the fatwa, as far as I remember, is that you cannot the flesh of that part cannot be touched. Okay. وليس للحائض والجنوب والنفساء قراءة القرآن. Okay, this masla here of the Quran, etc., got some explanation because maybe at times I will do this tomorrow. I just want to expand a bit upon this here also because now there's a new fitna cropping up here. In the Maliki madhab, they allow you to read the Quran without touching the Quran. Now, it started in Cape Town. Many of the Shafi madhab doesn't allow it, but unfortunately, it started in Cape Town, where the Shafi madaris, they are now allowing the girls to read the Quran in the hayd, and it's not allowable in the Shafi madhab. And that thing has sort of started in Cape Town, and now it started here in PE also. Now, here also, there's certain madrasas, Shafi madrasas, they are also now allowing the girls to read the Quran in the hayd when it's not allowed in the Shafi madhab. The Maliki madhab say you can't touch because لا يمسه إلا المطهرون. None can touch it except the poor people. Sorry, except the clean people. None can لا يمسه إلا المطهرون. So the Maliki madhab say you can't touch the Quran, but you can read it. So I don't know which Mufti in Cape Town gave that fatwa now to the Shafis, and here in PE also. So another problem that's happening with this is now the Shafis are saying, hey, there's people that are reading the Quran now. Why can't we also read the Quran? And it's creating confusion. But anyway, we'll discuss a bit of that tomorrow, inshallah. We'll stop there. But subhanallah wa bihamdihi. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك ونشهد ان لا اله الا انت نستغفرك ونتوب اليك